this on season 7, episode 47, where we watch Zombieverse season 1, episode 1. And I am your energy. I'm Chris Lorenz.
I hear there are plenty of ghosts in Japan. This is Brian.
I'll pump the gas. This is No Singer.
This is a matter of life or death. This is Max.
Those were all quotes from the show we watched this week. But last week, we watched a big RV remix. Put a poll on Twitter. You guys thought this was a bottom third show.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. But Noah, what was the show we watched this week?
Participants must outwit the undead during a zombie outbreak in Seoul, South Korea. That is Zombieverse on Netflix.
Short and to the point.
Yeah. I mean, Netflix descriptions are usually pretty short.
Yeah. I'll get into it. It's very confusing with this tee up because it took me at least a good 10, 20 minutes of the show to understand who knows what in the show.
Yeah. So this other, many people have pondered if they would survive a zombie apocalypse. Now there's a chance in the comedy horror reality series Zombieverse, which apparently is a bunch of internet famous people like actor Lee Seong and comedian Park Nare. I don't cover it. Yeah.
Park Nare.
Yeah. So we can get more into the people that are in it, but essentially the show is a reality show, is not a reality show. Netflix called it a real variety show.
I mean, it's very clear the people don't believe what's going on.
Yes. But it's not clear immediately they don't believe. It took me a while to understand they understand this isn't real.
I thought it was pretty obvious personally, but I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So they start them off as if they're the in-show podcast hosts for a show called Love Hunters. Is that right?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And then somebody's making out and they're a zombie and they're all overrun by zombies and they have to get out of there.
Well, it seems like the what they're telling, if you read online, this beginning piece is mostly scripted. So not
Sure.
scripted, but maybe not. Yeah. Just loosely, probably. It's maybe more like wrestling, it's you guys are going to freak out. Then you're going to run this way, then go to the car. Okay. Whatever. And then it seems like it's more of a LARP and more of an escape room. So that they have a set of challenge. They have a challenge that they have to do, and there's zombies all around them, and no one's telling them what to do. There's no script. They're just trying to solve some sort of task. So in this episode, we're at a gas station, and they had to refill the car and get a key and then drive out. So that was the escape room for this episode. So it was 5 comedians, 5 internet famous people in a fake zombie apocalypse, and they have to do this task without turning into a zombie.
Yeah, it's like MMO escape room. The world they're playing in is huge. It's definitely the biggest controlled world I think we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, and the zombies, the people that are acting like zombies and their makeup and all that stuff is movie caliber zombies.
Oh yeah. Very high production.
They have these white contact lenses that look pretty cool.
Especially the first set piece, that we said is mostly scripted, is they're doing really reshoots and getting right up in their faces. And I feel the show really sets a weird tone for somebody you're telling me it's a reality show, but this part of the beginning is obviously not a reality show. No one in their right mind thinks it's a reality show. You're not shooting it like a reality show. There's no real reason to think anything else. And I was did you guys watch another show that's not a reality show and just not tell us again? because Noah and Max usually watch these things before me.
Yep.
So
Nope.
Yeah, like it was definitely going through my mind. I was like, let's go along with it, but it's not. It's what is it? Real reality variety?
real variety show.
Real variety. Yeah.
So it's like,
Variety shows are kind of this Asian panel format where, you have like 10 people sitting in a room and they, make them do little challenges or whatever. Variety.
I didn't know that. Okay.
oh, I was thinking the classic like '60s variety show
No.
That's what I was
where they
thinking.
bring
Yeah.
in like America's Got Talent level people to do
So like
weird skits.
a lot of the like weird clips you'll see of like Japanese game shows are not standalone TV shows. They're like one-off gags from one episode of a variety show.
So it's like panel show
Yeah, exactly.
where we don't have panel shows here, but we also don't have these variety shows.
Yeah.
All right, that
Hmm.
makes way more sense why you'd call it a real variety show. I was like, in what way is this like
But
related
this
to
is not
bringing in a
reality.
clown?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that
Wait.
the people in the van were like trying to do some sort of escape room.
I don't know, like when they got like updated on, hey, this is the thing you're actually doing.
Yeah, I don't like how they've done this at all. Like it's like they made it seem like you could definitely watch this and assume that these people are like real actors and this is real scripted, and you'd be like, what are they doing in this car? Like, why are they laughing as they get out of the car?
Well, that's
Why is she freaking out so much? Like, they'd have to be incredible actors to do some of the things that they were doing, which I'm assuming they're not.
right. Well, that's where like once some of their attitudes in the car, I was like, okay, I got that they know. And also, what made it really obvious at the gas station, there was many different camera angles. Like it was definitely cameramen there, and I'm like, oh, got
Yep.
it.
But also the fact that there were zombies and they were just getting out of the car and doing things and not worried about it.
yeah, that's another.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
I
level
mean-
of concern was not enough.
Saying, Noah, if you laugh at me one time in the first 24 hours of a zombie apocalypse, I'm gonna kill you because you're not acting serious enough. I'm kicking you out.
Or like the guy was like they're leaving like downtown to go like to the outskirts to the gas station. He's like, oh, can we get some milk? Like he wanted to stop at a convenience store. Like that's also like that was a little unclear. I was still uncertain at that time because like I don't really know who this guy is, but
I mean, that's also something I think we're missing a component of this show.
yeah.
That if you were in South Korea, you'd know all these people, and like we don't know any of these.
I highly doubt they would know any of these people. It's a bunch of
Really?
nobodies.
People. They said internet famous.
Yeah,
internet
you
famous.
have you seen what we in America call internet famous people?
That's true.
Well, they said this person, one of the people's in Sweet Home and The Birth of the Rich.
There are all sorts of weird TV shows.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
I don't think they got the A team for this show.
Definitely not.
But
I
it's
thought-
unclear. I don't know about that. So, as we discussed, the production value of the show is very high. So they're putting money in. Like, are they going to skimp out on the talent?
There's a baseball player. Like, is that like what level is that in South
Yeah.
Korea? I don't know anything about South Korea.
Yep, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
Yeah, I would say so. Remember that show Max forever ago? I don't know if you watched it or not. It was called Scared Famous,
I do remember Scared Famous.
and like, those were celebrities. They were just like VH1 reality show celebrities.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Could be these are the Netflix, like
Could
people
be.
on popular
Mm.
popular shows on Netflix in Korea. So depending on like how popular Netflix is in Korea, they could be semi-popular, like
Yep.
or they could be because they're not saying they're like from other reality shows like The Circle.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
when we have like celebrity Netflix shows, it's like people from The Circle and whatever their dating shows are, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I mean, I don't think we probably won't answer this tonight, unfortunately.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's sad.
But we talked how the beginning was like kind of off-putting. I did really enjoy this challenge of them trying to get these keys and like fill up the gas pump. I do think that they like should have been a little more strict with the zombies and how they acted, but
Mm,
overall, I enjoyed the people freaking out and trying to figure this out, and like everyone but Goggles, I think was pretty into it.
mhm.
Goggles seemed like he
Yeah.
was he was a
Yeah.
little jokester.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's
was
also
fun
the most
with us.
entertaining, but definitely not as into it.
I
Here's
want to
what-
see one of the cast members get got.
So we got Goggles, we got Hurt Leg, we got Old Woman, Young Woman, and Other Guy. That's who I'm going to refer to everyone as.
Yeah, that seems pretty accurate.
Yeah. I like Goggles was the best. Young Woman was the worst.
Mhm.
Like she had to go out and her job was to like distract the zombies by like dropping a trash can, and she'd like drop this trash can and zombies are coming at her and she's going like almost screaming like that she's so scared, and it's like, well, why would the zombies ever gone after that trash can, because you're
Yeah.
making way more noise.
And she woke
Yep.
up as a special zombie.
It's true, she did wake up this special zombie.
Ugh.
I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think the mechanics of this, like,
There's like weird LARPing mechanics. Like I would definitely watch. Like it almost feels like the lava show, Floor's Lava. Like if you could do Floor's Lava, but like those people aren't dying, right?
Mhm.
And then there's more of a story than like go from point A to point B. But like
they're just gonna get doors slammed in their face or trash can thrown at
it's
them.
true. It definitely seems like you could get hurt on the show for sure.
So I feel like the format of the show really reminds me of Run for the Money, also on Netflix, but that takes place in Japan.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Run for the money.
The Japanese show where we had they play tag.
They're in like fake Japanese Amsterdam, and yeah, it's a
Yeah.
100 or 60 person game of tag, and
Whoa.
there's guys running around trying to catch you. I feel like zombies are basically tag
But these
gamified.
the taggers are pretty fun.
Yeah,
I
it's
wanna see season 2 of
taggers,
that.
but like with rules.
Like yeah, they have to follow the LARP rules or something.
Yeah, it's like almost like Pokemon, Pac-Man. Like the ghosts are gonna go this way or that way based on like this
Yeah.
like rules. There's a lot of video game stuff that it's pretty much a video game. It's
Yeah.
like level 1, you're in the
Mhm.
van, you got to get the keys, you got to fuel up your car, and you got to drive out, and you have to figure out how the zombies behave.
Mhm.
Or that there are zombies there. And I thought that was pretty entertaining. There's like at some point the first hint of this is they throw out like a pulse, kind of like if you know video games, you'll know what I mean. And it's like this circle that goes out from the van, and you're like, oh, zombies must be coming.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they do like every time the zombies were like alerted to something, they would do the classic Metal Gear Solid like question mark and then exclamation point next to their head.
Yeah, that was great.
It'll fill up like a bar with red if they're suspicious. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
The Metal Gear Solid made that famous in the 90s. But yeah, it's in a
Really?
lot of games now.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Actually, it might even before the PlayStation.
I don't know any games of that before that, but
Yeah.
like the Metal Gear Solid just sticks out so much.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Mhm.
They did some other cool things too. They like when they get the key, they like flash green, like that they've got success. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was really, I think the added a lot for me at least.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like watching it like I think I'm just so attuned to like the video games giving you the hint that like it flowed pretty subtly for me. Like it was there, it's noticeable, but it's not like that's weird.
But it is weird. Like
Yeah,
if your mom would be watching that, she'd be like, "What's going on?" Like she'd have no context for any of that stuff.
Mm, yeah.
But
That's a good
as
point.
like video game players, like we know, like those are facts. That's just how life works. Is the when somebody thinks he might see you, it's a question mark. When he's seen you, it's an exclamation point. Like that.
Yep.
That's just how the world works. It's like
Mm.
we call this blue. That's what we call that.
Yeah. I feel like the video game market now is huge. Right? Like basically
ginormous.
everyone plays video games now. Like it now that definition of video game doesn't mean you have a console necessarily, right? But like
Yeah,
gaming
I mean,
is gigantic.
the iconography they're using in this show is very much like console. You sit down, you play console gamers.
Yep.
But like a ton of people, sure, just play like solitaire on their phone
Yeah.
or get hooked on whatever phone game, and just like that would consider them gamers as well.
But I feel like the skin of zombies on any game is like a pretty common skin.
If you
that,
played
like-
enough mobile games, I'm sure you would see something like
Exactly. So like I think like it's not limiting their market. Like yes, maybe if you're over 50 or 55 or something, you know, like yeah, maybe you're a little bit excluded, but the under 55 market's pretty big.
anyone well, they escape and then they get kind of go to the next mission.
Well, there's one thing on here. They really like had to have us believe a big thing here. They're like running through the city and then like kind of like cut. They're in this car. They find this car. Someone's driving this car. It was a little.
No, there was some dialogue about there's a car down here or something. You know, it wasn't just a hard cut.
Yeah, it was a little too convenient.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah,
it's because it is convenient.
Everything is convenient. It's semi-scripted. What do you mean?
Yeah. No, I know, but like that. It was at the point in time in the show where I didn't know what the characters knew, and so I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait, are you talking about the one time when Goggles like stole a car and tried to leave without everyone else?
No, like to me, it was kind of like they kind of had this person driving a car, and
yeah, when they like from the intro scene to this like other scene,
yes, yeah,
like the intro scene is clearly all set scripted. We talked about that, which I thought was done really well. And then they get to this van, and then they just kind of cut to this van driving somewhere else, and then they have this weird conversation. Like, how did the production crew know to pick us up? Blah, 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 blah.
Right. And like everyone got to the van together. Like, this is where I was like, this might not be real.
Like,
a little slow.
Wait, so no, you thought the beginning was real, or you thought it was like a show?
So I did not think they were real zombies, but it was unclear to me if the panel, right, Goggles, old lady, young lady, whatever, understood the zombies were fake.
Yeah, I think my reaction would be way different than theirs if they just randomly zombies showed up.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what they knew or what they were led to believe. Like, I don't know if this is like a kind of a common setup where like, oh, okay, it's one of those games. Okay, great, you know? And so that's why I was like, I don't know what they know, so I don't know how to interpret their behavior.
They were probably confused for 10 seconds and said, oh, zombies don't exist.
I do agree. Like, it's such a weird show because normally if you'd have a show like this, they would, like, the producers or some host would come over and say, okay, this is what they know. This is what they don't know. Even if it wasn't with them, it would be, like, overlaid to us so we would know.
Yeah. I expect more spoon-fed
content. But they're, like, really playing it like it's all real, which the van stuff would play really weird if you thought it was like a show, because they're playing the rest of it like it's a show. they're doing like bits to come into the challenges and bits to go out of the challenge. Like, so it's not like everyone knows that there's like, okay, we're gonna call cut and have a bit, you know.
Right.
It almost feels like wrestling, where it's like, okay, when we're in the ring, you know, it's kind of free flow, we're doing what we want, and then like, you know, you're not in the ring and it's like more scripted.
Yeah, and also like I think one of the other things, like to your point, like the voiceover, it's on like, okay, they're playing a game to what point? Like it's just because then it gets to be like escape room. Like you don't do it for the prize, you do it to do it. Like it's fun to do it, right?
They're doing it to be on TV because they're
Yeah.
semi-famous Netflix stars.
Right, but like generally in this type of premise, it'd be like to win X, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, there was no win X. It was just escape room, like solve the puzzles.
Well, we don't know yet. I mean, that might not have been revealed to them at the beginning, just because like they're trying to hide it. But
I just
at the
think
end,
that you're never gonna find out. They're treating it too much like a real show to like at some point say, oh no, the winner gets X. And I just don't think that's gonna happen. I could be wrong, but it just seems like, oh, we're doing challenges and that's it. Because I don't
So, yeah.
there was like a cool intro scene, but it had more than 5 people. So I didn't. So I assume different people are going to come in and out because even in the Netflix list, I was looking at Netflix.com about the show. It tells you who's in it, and there's more than 5 people. So like I assume no one in the beginning is really going to be on that list. So like it's got to be people in the show.
Yeah.
Which.
So I've Googled Zombieverse, just Zombieverse. That's it. No other keywords. The like smart answers and like people also ask questions. This is great. The first one is Zombieverse, a reality show. It's unscripted, but it's constructed reality show. That's how they frame it. Constructed reality. One of the other ones, are reality game shows real? They're not a true reflection of reality, unfortunately. Then the last one I'll talk to, how many people believe reality TV is real? 61% of American adults believe the reality TV is mostly scripted. 18% believe no, it's unscripted and truly real.
Okay. You really teed us up to think that way too many people thought it was real.
It's weird how it's like answered. Like I'm reading it and how it's actually answered, which then also tees you up to be a little bit upset that people aren't as dumb as you might think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, to go back to the show, there was that interesting bit where Goggles tried to leave, like by himself, and the other guy comes in and like, no, you can't do that, and like starts honking the horn, so he has to like get out. I guess. I'm assuming that like other guy was like either he's got an earpiece in and he's like, yo, go get Goggles, you know. That's the only like, yeah. So then they have regular zombies, right? Then they have the special zombie. Brian, what is a special zombie?
So for the most part, the zombies were just kind of like reacting to sounds, like trundling up and like going after the sound itself. This special zombie would hear the sound, immediately turn towards it, and run as fast as possible. It has no brakes, it's unstable, no steering wheel. They said in the show, but it would just like run in a straight line at you. It also seemed like you can kind of see, but like that's unclear afterwards.
Yeah, it seems like just the actor kind of forgot, maybe.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think introducing like these like failure points and like making it harder was really, really cool. And it also like fed into the more video gaming stuff. If you played a zombie co-op game, you would see like all these special types of zombies.
Yeah, it is like video games realized and like that just regular zombies isn't good enough for at least like of like something about zombies, right?
Yeah.
Because like if you go see a zombie movie, it's not about the zombies usually because they're just not that interesting. But you know, in order to make them more interesting, you can make more different kinds of zombies, and then increase challenge for video games. That increases the challenge and keeps like things fresh, which is what they're doing in this show with like the special zombie, which I hope that they keep doing. That'd be great.
I want the boomer. Just puke on everybody.
This is yeah. I really want a trapdoor though. Like if this is a
Ooh.
real zombie thing, like I want a trapdoor.
Man, I missed
How-
that reality show.
How hurt could you get in falling into a trapdoor? Probably a lot.
I don't know how many people are going to get hurt on this. Like, it's going to be higher than 0, but it's going to be more than 10.
Not going to be more than 10. It's going to be less than 10.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also like one of the women in the show has like a hurt leg, which this is not seen. She's like running around on it all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like if she's not part of it, they really fucked up because it's like, well, you're exploiting somebody's like injury now for like entertainment. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, okay, you gotta know you're showing up to like sort of LARP situation.
Well, if the premise is to be believed, none of them knew, but the producers know.
But like, why would they wanted us to believe that? Why in the intro section did they not have like them all finding out that they're not like? It's just ridiculous. They're just trying to make it seem like a real show. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know why you'd sign up to go to this run around a lot with your leg hurt.
Yeah.
But one thing on like just to go back to someone getting hurt, every time they shut the car door really fast and quickly, I was like, oh no, one of these zombies' hands are gonna get trapped in there.
Oh, definitely. Have we discussed what happens at the very end of episode 1?
No.
Should we skip there? Just speaking of violence.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, like they're driving the car and they just run over seemingly a zombie. It looks pretty nuts. It looks pretty convincing. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is where it's like this is like the show part where like it feels more like a show and less like a reality show.
Yeah,
Yep.
I just think it was like too scripted because it's like they purposely had it so last minute you couldn't even react, and then the driver is quote unquote knocked unconscious. I think like everybody's in on it.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, yes.
They definitely all know at that point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they definitely know. It's just a matter of like how
I
much are
don't-
they a critical piece of this story.
It's clear. I think it's very clear that everyone is involved knows until they get to a challenge, and then the challenge is unscripted. Go do this.
Go do it.
So it's like they're like, you know, what we see is they're in the car. They've got some lines. Then they know what's gonna happen where the guy pulls off, and they're like, your challenge is like they could even have earpieces in as they're going and saying, okay.
It's going to be impressive seeing them pretend to give a shit for 5 weeks or whatever it is. Do you know how many episodes it is?
There's 8 episodes. It says over 3. It said over 3 days or something.
Okay.
On the thing. Because like the next episode, to give you what, you know, a little bit of what happens next episode, is that like they kind of all wake up in the car and they're outside of a supermarket. So it's like their next challenges are going to be in the supermarket, and they just like use this as a cutaway between the challenges. And that's where I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. No, just like is weirdly blinking at me.
Bum, 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 bum.
So,
Bum.
well, should we get to some
Yeah.
questions?
Yeah, I'll just say like I'm surprised how much actually maybe not. We're not too deep into it, but because like as we'll get to the ratings, but like in general, the show isn't terribly entertaining for as much we're talking about it.
Oh, it sucks.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Who's the worst human being?
I think it's Park Na-rae for showing up to an apocalypse
Yeah.
injured.
You
know, not very thoughtful.
Yeah, how
No,
She's
no.
not holding up the team at all. And yeah.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
they should have just left her like she told him Sure, we'll do that. That sounds great. There's no host. We'll skip that. Would this show be better as a Quibi or a TikTok?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah, because it'd be over sooner.
Yeah, be over sooner. And like, I think you can make these escape room things like really quick, which could be much more interesting with the high production value. I think this would be excellent Quiver Talk content.
Quiver Talk? I disagree.
Yeah, I was leaning in your boat, Chris. I don't think that
Whoa.
like there's you can try to cut it down, but like it's kind of action packed. It's just not like the most.
It's just a weird show and reality show at the same time,
Yeah,
Hmm.
which I don't think you'd be able to get enough of that in a TikTok. I could see maybe a Quibi, but like even then, like I think it deserves longer than that. Let's do some drinking rules. So, Brian, you have one?
anytime somebody gets bitten.
Ooh, that's a good one. Noah?
Every time somebody makes a sound to distract a zombie.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Max?
I got nothing.
Not even like when people scream because like we want to get people drunk for this.
Yeah, if you want overtime,
Yeah.
if you want to get extra drunk, like anytime somebody screams is good. I was gonna say take a couple drinks when the special zombies show up.
I
Just
like that.
Ooh,
drink a little, just drink a little bit. I don't know if you need more than that.
No, you don't.
I think you're good with those.
Yeah.
Let's do what you love about the show. Max, you want to go first or no? Your face doesn't look like you don't want to go first.
I think the idea is fun. That's all I got.
Noah, what do you got for me?
You know, zombies, I think, are not really included in this world where we try to be inclusive. And so I'm glad that they have a space in the world and a show on Netflix.
Brian?
Because it was a different format, like that tag show. I kind of like these. It just had a weird setup. That was what turned me off. Otherwise, I really like the premise.
Well, what do you love about the show?
Yeah, I like that. Like it has that same like scary aspect. Like you're trying to survive. Like you don't know the danger. Like it. I don't know many reality shows like that.
Yeah, I think the show does a great job of, like, of making it feel like more produced. Like the production value of the show is really good.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like a zombie show. It's like almost to a point where like it could be a fun. Like if they scripted the whole thing, I feel like this production crew could do a great job. Like it's tense. Like the music's good. The like shots are good. Like I think it's produced pretty well. So that's what I love about the show.
I'd buy that.
All right, so we do a rating system where we rate the show, be a stack ranking where you do top, middle, bottom, third, and sometimes we stack rank in our stack ranks. Brian, what do you got?
It's really difficult for me to place this because there were plenty of points where I was just tuning out, but I still enjoyed watching it. I think I got to put it top of the bottom. I think maybe I would put it up higher if I tried out episode 2 with the drinking rules.
Max, what do you got?
I was listening to the dub while I was playing Apex. It was pretty boring. I was watching it on my second screen. It was middle third, bottom third, middle of the bottom.
Noah?
Yeah, you would think the show would be more entertaining. It's not. It just isn't. Bottom third. It's. I'm hard to put in middle of the bottom. I think it's got to be top to bottom because the production value is very well done. Like we got to give it to all the crew here and the makeup, the zombies, the choreography. Like they are pulling it out of the middle of the bottom. So top of the bottom.
I'm gonna disagree. I think the show is. I feel like the show could be top third. But
Whoa.
because I think I'm going to put it in the middle because I think it was really fun to watch these people like LARP as is like Zombieville when they were LARPing. If you could cut out all the extra shit that's not them LARPing, I think the show would be top third. Like I want to see these people, and if you could put people I know with English in English, that'd be even better.
Mm.
I think this might be a good show for the dub because it's having like them speaking naturally is not going to bring that much more enjoyment than just like understanding what they're saying.
Yeah, I watched the show in English.
Oh no,
It was fun.
We watched the dub. I watched the sub.
Mm.
Maybe that's why you guys didn't like it.
No, Max watched it. Well, yes, Max. The other
Max
No,
definitely just said he watched the dub.
Yeah.
I watched sub plus dub. Why choose when you can have both?
Yeah,
That's not
sub dub.
either. But yeah, I do agree that I would probably switch to the dub. But I feel like whenever you do the dub, you lose something. You lose, especially for a show like this. I think that where they're like kind of playing themselves.
One thing that was vaguely interesting is the dub for this show was kind of CNN style, where you can hear the original speaking and intonation, but then they overlay English on top of it, but you can still sort of hear the original rhythm.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's your sub versus dub content. That's what we thought about the show. Tell us what you thought about this show on X at who put this
No, it's
on.
called Twitter. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, my app icon changed. I don't like.
Yeah, it's X. It's X. Sorry.
No, it's Twitter.
You don't get to decide that.
You just gotta go to Max. You just gotta leave. At this point, Max, what does this man need to do for you to leave? Like,
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I just think it should be called Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this whole Twitter Blue thing, renaming the thing, saying he wants it to be the everything app, and you're like, sounds great. I'm gonna keep using it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Brian, you have a shout out for us this week?
Still gonna shout out Futurama. Now that they've actually gotten past the we're back for like a fourth, fifth time, whatever. They're actually doing like fun episodes again.
Max, what do you got for me?
I saw the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It was fun, surprisingly.
Noah, what do you got?
Yeah, I finished the final season of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Yeah, that was really nice to finish out. I think it was a little interesting how they ended it. Like, it's not what I expected, but I think they did a nice job of closing out the show, and they closed it out at the right time. I think they tried to push it further. It would have just get right past its peak. So, yeah, thank you.
I started watching the new season of The Bear.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm like 3 episodes in. I hear it gets better, but I feel like I like season 1 more so far. We'll see how that.
It's very good. Yeah, it definitely pays off a little bit more in the end than season 1. But it is great.
It also seems like a hard show to binge. Like, it's like,
oh really?
It's pretty tense. I feel like it's pretty tense. I'm like, I don't really want to be in this world for like more than I watched 3 at once, so like she's like, I didn't want to watch any more.
Yeah,
so it's like not the most binge. Like, I feel like the binginess of the show. It's like too tense for me to keep watching.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. But yeah, you'll be very happy. Like, I think it's episode 6 or 7, maybe 8, I don't know, but like one of those in the middle, a lot of people are saying it's like one of the best episodes like of TV created. I don't know if I agree with that, but people have very high acclaim.
Yeah, you're really hyping this up.
Yeah, like it's a good episode. You'll see, it's like a family dinner. Like it doesn't ruin anything.
Spoilers.
But like, yeah, people are like all over this episode. I'm like, it's good. Yeah, yeah, I'm excited for you because it's such great content.
such great content. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for us this week. Next week, we're watching
Fight for
Fight
survival.
for survival.
Fight to survive.
Fight to Survive. It's a new show coming out on the 10th. I don't know what network, but
CW.
I've been TikToked. This guy, producer I follow on TikTok, produced the show. I'll get the net. You'll find out more about it next week. So we're gonna
What?
watch the show. If you're on TikTok, you've probably seen this guy.
No. Everyone's TikTok is vastly different.
You've probably seen it. Okay,
If you're
talk
on
more about it
TikTok.
next week.
What's
If
this
you're on
guy's
the
name?
internet, if you're on the internet, don't worry. You've
We'll
come
find out the
across-
name next week because I don't have the name off the top of my head.
It's okay if you're on the TikTok. You come across.
It's like Nate or I don't know. We'll figure it out next week. Tune in next week, and we'll see you guys next time.